What happens when money becomes more important than people? In Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, we follow a man who believes kindness is weakness until one night forces him to face his past, present, and future. In this video, I'll break down the plot, the characters, and the deeper meaning behind this legendary novella. First published in 1843, this classic tells the story of Ebenezer Scrooge, a wealthy but cold-hearted businessman living in Victorian London. At its heart, the book explores themes of redemption, social responsibility, and the importance of compassion. Clear story overview. At the beginning of the story, Scrooge is shown as a man who hates Christmas and refuses to help the poor. He treats his employee, Bob Cratchit, unfairly and dismisses charity as pointless. On Christmas Eve, Scrooge is visited by the ghost of his former business partner, Jacob Marley, who warns him that his selfish life will lead to suffering after death. Scrooge is then visited by three spirits: the ghost of Christmas past, who shows him moments of lost happiness, the ghost of Christmas present, who reveals the suffering of others, and the ghost of Christmas yet to come, who shows him a lonely and unloved death. Terrified by what he sees, Scrooge wakes up on Christmas morning, determined to change. Main character. Ebenezer Scrooge is the central character of the novel. At first, he appears greedy, isolated, and emotionally cold. He believes that success is measured only by money. However, as the story progresses, we see that Scrooge is not naturally cruel, but deeply lonely and fearful. His journey is not just about generosity, but about learning how to reconnect with other people. By the end of the novel, Scrooge becomes joyful, kind, and socially responsible. Key themes. One of the main themes of the novel is redemption. Dickens shows that no one is beyond change, even someone as cruel as Scrooge. Another important theme is social responsibility. Through characters like Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim, Dickens highlights the suffering of the poor and criticizes a society that ignores them. The novel suggests that those with wealth have a moral duty to help others. Deeper insight. For those who want a deeper interpretation, A Christmas Carol can be read as a strong criticism of Victorian capitalism. Dickens challenges the idea that poverty is a personal failure and instead presents it as a social injustice. Scrooge's transformation represents the possibility of moral reform within society itself. This raises important ethical questions about responsibility, justice, and how a society should treat its most vulnerable members, questions that are still relevant today. Language and symbolism. Dickens uses powerful symbolism throughout the novel. The chains worn by Marley's ghost symbolize the consequences of greed, while light and warmth are used to represent kindness and human connection. The contrast between darkness and light reinforces the idea that moral awareness leads to emotional warmth and social harmony. Conclusion. In the end, A Christmas Carol reminds us that generosity, empathy, and responsibility are essential human values. Although the novel was written in the 19th century, its message about caring for others remains deeply relevant. Dickens shows us that real wealth is not measured by money, but how we treat those around us.